I've seen the future.
Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to the Universal Energy Forecast, the Oracle card forecast for the energies affecting all of us this week, and it is for the week of August the 1st. Man, the summer is going by so fast. Me no likey that. Anyway, so I decided to actually work a little bit with a guidebook this week since I wrote it. And my intuition said, you know, go see what Spirit had called for me to write. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what's actually in the guidebook and some of the things that jumped out at me when we talk about the cards. So the first card is for the week is No Place Like Home. And I mentioned last week that these oracle card readings, these forecasts, if you will, are really kind of prescriptions for how to work with the energy affecting us. So in other words, when we bump up against life, what do we do? What is in the highest good? That's always what I'm asking. Like, what do we all do for the highest good of all when we bump up against the universal energy affecting everybody, right? So kind of like a weather report, and then on Tuesday, take your umbrella is basically what I'm saying. So No Place Like Home is our first card, and it's in the upright position. Now, when you look at No Place Like Home, it's not necessarily talking to you about an actual physical place. As a matter of fact, it isn't. It's talking about when we say home is where the heart is. But what if home is inside your skin and an open heart is where home needs to be? And so when No Place Like Home comes up, it's asking you, what does it take for you and me to be comfortable inside our own skin? And what causes us in some way to feel like we're not at home in our own skin? And that's a really good question to ask, given that there's so much inconsistency and excitement and tumult and uncertainty in the world. As I say all the time now, uncertainty is the new normal, and the uncharted world that we're stepping into is a place we don't know yet. And so consequently, we don't know what home is going to look like external to us, but we do know how to begin to explore home inside ourselves. And so when between worlds and the protection position follows, it's actually a really good, there's a good quote in here when it says, be mindful of your expectations. Let go and see what Spirit has in store. What takes hold in your life will be better than you can imagine. So what happens to all of us when we feel like we have one foot in the past in a world that we don't want anymore, and one foot in the quicksand of a place that hasn't really shown up for us yet, even though we kind of know? And so the tendency for all of us is to create a form, you know, in our head, like we want to arrive at this exact destination. That's going to give me what I want, or that person is going to give me what I want, or you know, in order for me to feel safe or on my journey, I have to have this experience exactly. But what if the way that we get the essence of our desires and the essence of who we really are projecting or broadcasting in the world through our very complex, I would say, energy complex, because we're many things at the same time. Nothing is ever exact or pure. So what if the outpicturing of that, in other words, the conclusion of that, is better than we can imagine? What if we don't know what the form is going to be? And that's really key. It's actually a really key concept in my new book that's coming out, Uncharted, which is we don't know the highest good for us in terms of the way it's going to show up in its form, but we know how to get there in essence. And we know this invisible world that is Spirit is going to be the how. How we get there is not up to us. How we want to feel, what we want to feel, and again, being at home in our own skin and feeling that we have some kind of meaningful service to the world, or that our life has meaning and that we can share that with others. Now, deep knowing is also in the protection position, and normally I just riff on this, so I thought, you know, what was I drawn to write in the guidebook? And I never do this actually, because I wrote it once, and that's for you. And I went back over the cards, and I'm like, when did I write that? That's so good. Anyway, so here's what it says. Focus on what you really want to achieve. Similarly, like focus on the what in terms of the essence, the feeling of that. regardless of whether it feels so far outside the box that the established order may reject it. So that actually goes back to the second card, Between Worlds, in the protection position, which is all about letting spirit decide the form. And this is also straddling two worlds. One, the world that you've already built for yourself, that you've created for yourself, everything that you've already co-created now, and you're always creating in partnership with spirit, which is why I use the words co-create. So now what, right? Basically, now what? So it's saying, like, don't be afraid. It doesn't have to be what it was. If you do what you did, you're going to get what you got. And if you think with the same mind that created the circumstances that you're in now, you're going to get similar things. So it's saying stretch your imagination. Be truthful and honest about what you want to co-create. Because here it says, genius, invention, and transformation are rarely comfortable and less likely to be accepted by the mainstream when it first arises. It may be time for you to say no to the way of your group, take a stand, make real changes. It could be that the structure of your inner world is alerting you to the need for a complete overhaul, because it always has to start inside, right? That's why we started with a place like home, inside. Let go of the fear of change. Your intuition will lead you through the darkness. Now, the darkness doesn't mean bad things. It means when you're indecisive or when you can't see the form. So when you're in that uncharted part of the journey where you're like in the boat in the middle of the ocean, you can't see the shore anywhere, and so it's scary. So it says, trust that light will dawn. Epiphanies will surely lead to miracles. The only way that you can get to the aha epiphany is if you go within, ask, what would love do? Being able to step back, the way I teach about being detached and observant and not right in it and with your life suction cupped onto your face, because that's what Between Worlds in the protection position reminds us too. We don't know what it's going to look like. We have to let go and let spirit decide, but hold true to ourselves, to our dreams, to our service, and in a sense of compassion. Now, fork in the road in the protection position talks about second chances. So it says when you are really indecisive, or when you give your power away to somebody else to make a decision for you, or even when you give your power away to because you want an experience and you want this to give it to you, instead of starting within, starting at home inside you. But you get to get another chance. It's okay. We will stumble our way into this new world. We stumble our way. Instead of I say we don't walk our talk, well, we stumble our talk. And so if you're on this journey and you're part of my tribe and you're watching this video, you're already on this journey, and you know that sometimes it's hard to make a decision and a choice. But even in not making a choice, you're making a choice. So if it doesn't work out the way you hoped, or you're kind of messed up by the results, because we can all co-create some pretty whacked out stuff. Start again. We are allowed to course correct. This is the thing, compassion for self and others. Remember, ask yourself this week, what would love do? What would love do? And I'm sure that if you ask what would love do, when you make maybe a misstep or you've made a choice that you wish you hadn't made, you get to start over. Mwah. Love you all. Take care. What a great week. So if you like this video, sign up to my channel and share the video with your friends, and don't forget to leave a comment. I love to read them, and sometimes I do answer them.
I've seen the future. It's beautiful.